Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is doing well. In fact, happy August. And I wanted to give you a look at my August garden, which is not as pretty as my May and June garden. Well, I say it's not as pretty. It's producing. It just doesn't look as great as it did at the beginning, but that's okay. We want production, not perfection. So I'm gonna flip you around and let you see it. Our tomatoes have really started to come in. You know, they were so green for a while, and I wondered if they would ever, oh, there's a bad one there. I wondered if they would ever start to turn, but they did finally. And we've been making some pizza sauce and salsa. And you can see there's a couple down here that are my tomato sandwich tomatoes that I've been waiting patiently for. But then I have these tomatoes, which didn't do so well. I'm gonna go ahead and pull those out of here. They're just taking up space at this point. Our green peppers, for the first time in about 4 or 5 years, actually are doing really well. And I've got a row of those. And then of course, you've heard me talk about okra. The okra is still just producing every day. Absolutely love having it in here. We've even got a little bit of corn off, not too much. And we did have a pollination issue earlier. So we're trying to let them stay on just a little bit longer to see if that will work. But our corn, a lot of it's fallen over. We've had a lot of storms, heavy rain, just the nature of gardening. Our bean plants have produced pretty well, but they are also on their way out. So I'm gonna probably pull a few of those up today just to give room to this ever-spreading sweet potato vine. And it's here, and then it continues over on this side. So I do need to get in there and pull a few weeds, but that's what it's looking like today. Beautiful, but all consuming. We've got one little squash plant here that's holding on. It's been trying to survive these squash bugs. You can see we have an issue with them here. And then our pumpkins are starting to tendril out a little bit, and that's a good sign. We've got pumpkins all over here. Back in the corner, that's butternut squash. This right here is our project for today. This is our cucumber vine, and it is done. And I'm sorry I don't have one of those glamorous gardens that you probably see on TikTok or Instagram, but this is real life. And it's August, and it's time in our area for this to go. So we're gonna pull this out. We're gonna get a lot of these green bean plants out. I think some of the back there have stopped producing so that we can give way to the sweet potato vine, let it do its thing. I feel like we're gonna have lots of sweet potatoes this year because they just keep going. Oh, and in the background here, you can see the chicken coop that we are building ourselves. Actually, I say we, my husband and my father-in-law, they've been hard at work, and they only have the weekends to work. So for the past 2 weekends, they've been working hard trying to get this done. The chickens you hear in the background do not belong to us, they belong to a neighbor. But pretty soon, our little baby chicks that we have inside right now will be out here enjoying their new space. All right, thought I'd take a breather and show you the progress I've made so far. So I've cleared out this little section. That's how much of it I have to go. But I wanted to show you this, and it's why it's extremely important to be careful when weeding around your sweet potatoes or anything really that spreads out and grows, your pumpkins, because what you can do is you can disturb the root system. And you can see, where'd it go? I pulled up one of these, here it is. Just trying to get the cucumbers out. I pulled that out of the ground, and you can see the roots had already gotten down into the ground, and I hate that I did that. So there's a word to the wise there, is to let these things be. They are growing and spreading out for a reason, and they're running down into the ground, which gives them a root system, and you do not want to disturb that. So see this weed here? I mean, you can try to pull it out, but if you're gonna have to disturb this down here, leave it alone. Oh, spider. If you're squeamish of spiders, you might want to turn away. This one is pretty magnificent. It's an orb weaver, and it's been hanging out for the last month or two here. But because I'm pulling its vine up, it's gonna have to find another home. So, hold my hand while I relocate it. Okay, just so you know, I did have to sacrifice a little piece of sweet potato plant to carry it over here to this corner of the garden. Hopefully it will enjoy its new home. All right, our cucumbers and our trellis are gone. I went ahead and pulled all the beans out too because they had finished producing, and that gave our corn a little room to breathe, though after I pulled those out I realized that something had been getting into the corn and taking the ears off the stalk and just leaving them laying on the ground. So we have an issue with corn. I don't know how much we're going to get out of that, but these sweet potatoes, they should not disappoint. They'll soon fill in that bare space right there and just keep moving this way. And I'm anticipating a nice sweet potato harvest next month. So this is what I grabbed out today, minus a few tomatoes that I still need to get off the vine. But I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my August garden, and I hope that you're having a lot of success in yours. I have my sweet little nephew out here with me. We're checking the progress on the chicken coop. It's a little hot, so we're not gonna stay out here long, but I just couldn't resist getting him on camera for a second. See what's going on. Oh wow. So we've got the side cut out, which is going to be our cleaning door, our cleaning side, where we can just open the door and clean the coop out. And then the boxes are being constructed. Oh my gosh, it's getting real. That looks great. They are working really hard in this heat. Just wanted to come out here and catch you up to date and get a little update for myself. All right, but now I think it's nap time. Is it nap time?
Are you in line with the flat part there? I'm in over.
Things are happening.
Oh, you need to coordinate?
I am so proud of my husband and my father-in-law and all the hard work they are doing to make this chicken coop, to build it from scratch. It's just amazing. They don't have any plans. They've just watched some videos and they're just putting it together like pros. And you can see that the box is coming together. It's very hot, so I make them take breaks a lot and hydrate and rest. But it is definitely coming together. They were a little upset at the end of this day because they worked really hard to get the roof on, and then about halfway through realized that they weren't doing something right, took it all down, and we'll have to start over on it this coming weekend. All in all, it's coming together, and I can't wait to show you the finish. More recent update of the baby chicks. They are about, let's say, 3 weeks, you think now? Maybe. Close to it, somewhere between 2.5 to 3 weeks. And unfortunately, we did lose one of them. We lost our sweet little Rhode Island Red. She was apparently sick when we picked her up. We realized that she just wasn't acting like the other chicks. And so she didn't make it but a couple of days. So that made us really sad because we loved her very much already. I'd always wanted a Rhode Island Red, and we only had one, so it was really special. But we still have these 7 girls hanging in there, and they all seem to be doing very well. They are quite messy, and we're going to take you in and show you the brooder that we have to keep cleaning. But this is their little holding spot until we get their coop built. And this is a pretty large tote. We just got it filled with pine shavings, and they've got their food and then their little water dish here. We have to clean it out every day, and we just cleaned it out, what, Alex, like 10 minutes ago? And you can already see all the pine shavings that are in the water. So, oh, there goes another one. It's just really hard to keep that clean. But when we get the coop, we'll have a system that hopefully will stay cleaner. So we're going to get them back inside in just a few minutes, and I'll show you their setup inside. Alright, so they're back safe and sound inside in their brooder, and they're back with their heating plate, which we decided to try a method that we did a little research on just to see. They like to get up there and roost and do their business all over the top of it, and we're having to clean it every day, and it's really hard to clean it without immersing it in water. So we're trying this little trick with some Glad Press and Seal wrap to put on the top of it, and then we can change, you know, we can just pull that off and put down a fresh piece, and hopefully, oh, I hope that will work, because that has been quite a job trying to keep this little thing clean and, you know, keep it from being too smelly. But they are really sweet. They seem to be happy. I think they're happy in their new home. They like to dig. Of course, they're being camera shy right now. They don't want to come out and say hello. We're trying not to get attached and name any of them yet, just because of what happened to our little Red. But it's hard. It's hard not to become attached to them. They're so cute. Okay, so there's your update. Update of our garden, our chicken coop, and even checking in on our little chicks. We can't wait to see this all come together. So until next time, remember to live simply, use what you have, and enjoy the moments you've been given. Bye for now, friends.